Question 1. What's the most awkward thing an animal has ever done around you?
Hello, this is Sabrina with Animal Showcase and Quiz Channel. So the first question, I think one of the awkward things that animals do is either, especially monkeys, they're always doing peculiar things, whether they're throwing poop at one another. But I think the most awkward thing for me is if they're mating. I don't know why that should feel awkward because I know that's natural for them. And then the only other thing when they're picking at each other's butt.
Question 2. What's the weirdest place you've ever found an animal?
The weirdest place I found an animal, once in my, we live in the East Coast in the Carolinas, and once in my son's bathroom, there was a lizard, like a regular lizard, not an eel, like one of the Florida-looking lizards, and the only thing I thought about, I'm like, were we traveling recently, and he brought it with them? So that was the only weird thing, is to see an animal that we don't normally see where we live.
Question 3. Which of these would freak you out the most? A raccoon knocking on your window. A deer standing completely still, staring. A snake slithering into your shoes. A bird mimicking your voice.
So yes, the thing that would probably freak me out the most is for a raccoon to knock on my window. First I would think, am I dreaming? Am I crazy? So that would definitely be at the top of the list of something that would freak me out.
Question 4. Have you ever had an animal appear in your dream and then seen it the next day? Yes. No. I wish. I'm scared now.
So seeing deer is not a huge deal because they're always sitting still and just staring. I dream about snakes a lot, and usually from what I've read in dream books and whatnot, it says that dreaming about snakes, I think it has something to do with control or something like that, or losing control. I'm not really sure, but I constantly dream about snakes. Chime down below if I'm not the only one that dreams about snakes a lot, but I've just gotten used to it.
Question 5. Have you ever been out camping and woken up to an animal in your tent?
We don't really go camping. I think the last time I went more of a hike, more so than a camp. So this one really doesn't apply to me.
Last question. What's your most unexplainable animal encounter? Chime in comments. Pick one of the 6 or all of them if it applies to you. Like, share and comment.
So the weirdest place or the weirdest animal encounter I can think of, my mom, before she passed away in 2016, she loved animals, and dogs, cats, what have you. And it seemed like every time around the anniversary of her passing, we would just have these random farm animals come to our house. We've had goat before. We've had random dogs show up. Regardless of what your beliefs are, sometimes I'm like, is that my mom coming back letting me know she's okay? Of course, my Christian friends probably think I'm crazy for saying that. However, we do live in the city, but, when you live in the Carolinas, as you probably know, you can be city, rural, country, within a mile of each other. So probably about a half a mile or a mile away, there are some farms or people that have farm animals, and sometimes they always seem to wander right near our house. Like I said, we've had goat, we've had all kinds of things that show up at our front door. So sometimes I just attribute that to, sometimes my husband says, oh, animals just gravitate towards us. And there's a ton of houses in the area, so I'm not really sure what that's all about. But yeah, that's probably my strangest encounter, is just having animals randomly just show up. And sometimes I'm like, what does that mean?